So here we have Tom Felt from SBG Manchester.
Oh, we guarantee an absolute light heavyweight firework display, ladies and gentlemen.
These guys are going to throw heavy. I've seen Joe Kearns fight before. These guys bring it.
Both fighters as well, it's worth noticing, are coming into this on a perfect record. Joe Kearns with 2 wins, 0 losses. Tom Field with 3 wins and 0 losses. Both have shown that they've got knockout power in their hands, and if tonight is anything to go by, I think it's very unlikely we're going to see a fight go all the way, especially not with these big lads. Tom Field of SBG Manchester, 3-0 record, coming in at 93 kilograms.
These are some big guys coming in to throw some leather.
Joe Kearns walking out to a bit of Hendricks.
Joe Kearns is fighting at the Kaizen Academy. He will be the local boy.
We've either got England versus Norway or Lancaster versus Manchester seems to be the theme of the night. Both absolutely huge fighters, both with devastating power in their hands.
Joe entering the cage.
Evolution Combat presents 3 lots of 3-minute rounds of amateur mixed martial arts in the 93 kilogram weight category. Introducing first into the red corner with a record of 3 wins and no defeats. Representing SBG Manchester, Tom Field!
Tom is looking loose and relaxed right now.
He's got no care in the world, has he?
His opponent with a record of 2 wins and no defeats. Representing Kaizen MMA.
Cheeky thumbs up to Joe Kearns.
I love it. I love it that they're both coming in here with perfect records.
A referee in charge of the action.
Yeah, but they can't both leave with them. And we are off.
Kick, heavy right hand from Tom there.
Tom Fields throwing dynamite straight away. Very, very tense.
Joe trying to get some distance, backing up against the cage. Tom
straight for the double against the cage.
Tom's constant. He's relentless. That takedown.
Oh, he's just trying to ragdoll Joe. Joe's just sitting heavy. Just happy to let him tire himself out.
Tom with the overhook. Joe with the overhook. Tom grinding in. Forehead in.
Joe just trying to hold him there with that whizzer. Tom not wasting any time. Just trying to get a bit of dirty boxing in. Head pressure from Tom Field.
We're seeing Tom work
throwing
the legs.
Shots to the head, shots to the midsection, knees to the thigh.
Joe working that bicep clinch.
I think Joe really needs to get out of here.
Joe needs to spin off that cage. Maybe he's trying to let Tom burn his arms out a little bit with the clinching, but I think Joe needs to get some distance.
We also don't know how hurt Joe was in that initial flurry. He may be trying to recover
a little bit. That big
maybe just using this to hold Tom there with that whizzer and just try and recover for a little bit. You can see side of Joe's face slightly red already.
Tom dropping almost to a knee now, trying to seek. And he's got this.
Going for the single, looking for that high crotch.
I mean, Joe's using the wall excellently here. This is not easy to stop yourself from being taken down by a guy from Tom's size. Joe's using the wall nicely, the cage nicely.
Tom's pressure is just relentless.
Referee just removing.
And we have the mouth guard of Tom Field.
Tom looking to get some distance.
And the split. Joe throwing a leg kick.
Joe's got some lateral movement there. Beautiful footwork.
Joe finally able to start moving. Tom Field dominating the center of the cage.
Tom's throwing some nice, light, fast punches. Lovely, lovely.
Rear toe kick from Joe Kearns. Oh. And the clinch.
Tom closes that distance again, pins Joe against the cage. Dropping down for the legs. Joe's got the underhook.
Again, he failed to get any. Well, again, looking for that high crotch single. And once again, Tom Field just happy to use his head pressure and just pepper Joe with those little shots to the head to the midsection.
Last 10 seconds of the round. Will we see a takedown here to finish?
Very unlikely. And we have 1 round in the bag.
I tell you what, that wasn't necessarily the most action-packed first round, but you can tell, look how tired these both are. That was a grind.
Well, it just sucks it out of you, doesn't it, being pressed against the cage like that. Really, really impressive pressure from Tom Field there. I felt after that opening flurry, he was just happy just to clinch and just pin Joe to the side.
I mean, fantastic counter wrestling from Joe, right?
Yeah, well, Joe wasn't letting him get any of those takedowns, so I think Tom seemed like he was trying to bring that to the ground, maybe work some ground and pound from there, but you know, to his credit, Joe managed to prevent any of that being got off.
So against the cage, keeping that overhook. So if you're Joe, what do you do in the next round to stop that? You need to keep that lateral movement, right?
Yeah, I think Joe needs to keep circling out. I think he needs to use exactly lateral movement. Let Tom have the middle a bit maybe, but just don't let yourself get cornered again like that.
Tom with the switch.
And
knees.
Joe goes straight in there.
Tom.
Brutal knees from Joe Kearns.
Tom again pinning him against the cage.
Once again, the head pressure from Tom Field. Knees to the thighs.
I mean, again, we're back to this. This is the story of this match so far. Tom's pinning Joe against the cage. Joe's doing an excellent job clinching, stopping Tom from doing much. Joe spins off the cage, lands a knee on the way out.
Oh.
Joe looking to switch.
Well, let's see if Joe can finally get some of his movement off. Oh,
Joe
excellent head movement from Joe Kearns.
Again, though, Tom closes that distance, grips those hands together. He's looking for that single
Looking for that single.
Joe's doing excellent against the cage, though, with that counter wrestling.
Yep. Joe circles his foot to the outside, preventing the single.
You can see just how hard Tom is working for that takedown.
Oh,
Joe shrugs it off.
Joe connects.
He just landed with that big right hand, and again.
Oh, we have connect.
Joe with
Tom is in trouble. Tom is in trouble.
Joe's finding his distance now. Look out for that switch
Excellent
punch.
head movement from Joe Kearns. He's connecting.
Joe's found his
rhythm.
Joe,
more shots straight to the head of Tom Field from Joe Kearns.
Look out for this drop forward shot that Joe likes to land.
Excellent head movement from Joe Kearns. Tom just cannot find him.
I tell you what, Joe's coming forward, so he knows he's in a fight now. Uppercut from Joe.
Excellent boxing skills there from Joe Kearns.
Head
kick.
Jesus.
Once again, Joe just...
Where did that come from?
His head absolutely nowhere to be found. Fantastic boxing from Joe Kearns.
Joe has this excellent ability to be on the outside. You think you can hit him, but you just can't find him.
And we know now that Tom very much happy just to try and recover, pinning Joe against the side of the cage.
Credit to Tom. Tom took some heavy shots
Tom took some absolute fire in that round.
And he's found his game again. He walks forwards, he gets this clinch, he pins Joe against the cage. He's got the first takedown.
He finally manages to finish the takedown.
Joe with the guillotine. I don't think it's really threatening the guillotine.
No, there's no danger there.
Tom's keeping his hips high.
Joe needs to be careful.
We've got 30 seconds left on the round. This is dangerous for Joe. These guys can throw heavy shots from here. Wrist control.
Wrist control from Joe. He wants to just avoid any damage that Tom can land at him from this position.
Tom's done a good job
hammer
still
fist
landing those
from Tom Field.
This hammer fist from the top position.
10 seconds to go.
Generally, considering the bad position that Joe's in, he's done a good job defending himself.
Yeah, just happy to ride this one out, obviously.
Wow.
Second round in the bag.
Action-packed match. again, in terms of control, I had to give that round to Tom. But in terms of damage, the shots landed, Joe had Tom wobbly there for a second.
I think the positioning and the cage control from Tom Field has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's always just stalking the middle.
Even when he gets wobbled, he can find it.
Even when he gets wobbled, he still doesn't. Yeah, he still closes the distance. He still controls where the fight takes place. However, the head movement, the boxing of Joe Kearns has just been absolutely phenomenal. In that round, you just saw Tom just could not find his head. He kept hunting. There was nothing there for him. And for his trouble, Joe absolutely unloaded on him there. I think we came very close to a finish. And we all know how at this size a fight can end at any moment.
And Joe reminded us again, he pulled that head kick out of nowhere. It's not often you see someone Joe's size throwing a head kick like that without giving any sign or tells. Both looked tired.
Joe going
into it. He drops his weight into
finds the head.
Lovely hook.
Straight away forces Tom into that.
Again,
and Tom is just not happy to face those fists.
Tom driving forwards.
Looking for the single again.
I can hear Joe's corner telling him, you need to spin off the cage. You're winning the stand-up fight. You need to get that distance.
Yeah, Joe does not. He wants to get out. He definitely doesn't want to risk taking this to the judges.
Heavy shots landed from Joe there. He wants to disencourage Tom from going for those takedowns. Knees.
Yeah, Joe has to be thinking, I don't want to leave this in the hands of the judges.
Could go either way right now.
It could, yeah, exactly.
Spins off the cage. He needs to engage. Teeps, hand teeps, nice jabs. Joe's got a lovely light jab that he peppers you with. He puts it in your face so you can't see what's coming.
Tom is just swinging.
Uppercuts, hurts.
Tom is in absolute survival mode in the stand-up.
Tell you what, credit to... hard shot, he's wobbly.
We have a win!
Heavy crush.
It's been called.
Left hook. It was a left hook that did it. The left hook from Joe Kearns finishes the fight.
Fantastic performance there.
He progresses to 3-0. Undefeated. Heavy hands.
Tom Field in absolute just survival mode for those last few seconds.
Where did that come from again, It looked like from 2 rounds he was struggling, he was pinned against the cage. When he had the chance to get off, he did. And then in the 3rd round, he just finds his distance. He lands those heavy punches. He does a lovely technique. He keeps that jab in front of your face so you can't see what's coming, and he lands that right or that left hook.
And the head movement as well. You just don't expect that kind of agility from someone so large in the cage.
Joe Kearns is looking happy right now in front of us.
Joe Kearns leaves tonight with a 3-0 record. We go now for the announcement of the winner of that fight.
Once again, there is no need to check the judges' scorecards on this one. Our referee,
the 4th finish of the night, I think. Second knockout of the night.
Of the 3rd and final round, and the winner by way of TKO in the blue corner, Joe Kearns. Congratulations to Joe Kearns. Commiserations to Tom Field.
What a performance from Joe Kearns, from both fighters, Tom Field as well. Join us for the rest of the fight card coming up later. We got the main event, the main fight card, main evented by Adam Gregory and Sigmund Hollywood.